Dear student, today we shall discuss the last segment of bleeding disorder, and that is bleeding due to the defect in coagulation system. So, coagulation disorder is sometimes associated with the bleeding tendency, increased bleeding tendency. So, this bleeding is due to the defect in the coagulation system. Either there is qualitative or quantitative deficiency in coagulation factor that are involved in coagulation system. All of you know this fact that there are 13 coagulation factors that are involved in the coagulation system through extrinsic and intrinsic pathway. So there are two possibilities. If the activity of the coagulation system are going to increase, that is known as hypercoagulability. So if it is going to happen, then there may be chance of increased formation of thrombus in the circulation, and that thrombi may circulate and in the form of emboli and may cause infarction. That is another one manifestation. Another possibility is that the clotting property or coagulation factor is going to deficient. There is a deficiency of clotting factor. So this condition may lead to the bleeding tendency. So we are concerned with this segment, that is the clotting factors are deficient either quantitatively or qualitatively. Due to this deficiency of coagulation factor, there is manifestation occurs in the form of large ecchymosis. Sometimes bloods leak into the joint, accumulated in the joint, and lead to the hemarthrosis. That is a very common manifestation. Sometimes bleeding is accumulated in the soft cutaneous tissue, that is known as hematoma. So this is another manifestation. Sometimes bleeding occurs through the nasal mucosa or sometimes through the GIT or urinary tract. Even after the minor injury, there is increased more tendency of bleeding. So this type of manifestation can be seen in the coagulation disorder. Another, the screening test is made by as a whole. If the defect is located in the coagulation system, if the bleeding is due to the deficiency of the clotting factor or coagulation factor, the screening test is made by simple test like increased bleeding tendency, increased increased bleeding time, increased clotting time, increased activated partial thromboplastin time, and increased prothrombin time. मतलब there is increased BT, CT, PT and APTT. If you do the coagulation factor assay, we will find that there is a specific deficiency of one or more coagulation factor in the blood. So this type of manifestation and this type of screening test is generally done as a whole if the disorder is located in the coagulation system. Generally, the coagulation disorder are classified into two types. One is disorder that is congenital. This is a inherited hereditary disorder, and that disorder is inherited as most commonly sex-linked recessive manner. So inheritance is X-linked recessive. The most common example, I think all of you know in this category, that is known as hemophilia A, which is due to the deficiency of factor 8. Another disorder that is congenital inherited coagulation disorder, that is known as hemophilia B, or also known as Christmas disease, and it is due to the deficiency of clotting factor 9. Both are sex-linked recessive inherited disorder. Another disorder that is associated with congenital inheritant coagulation disorder, that is known as von Willebrand disease. In this condition, what is going to happen? There is a deficiency of von Willebrand factor. Sometime another, these are the disorders that are associated with the congenital or inherited deficiency of clotting factor 8, 9 and von Willebrand factor. Some of the coagulation disorders are acquired, and that is acquired because of their synthesis is going to poor. So some of the clotting factors are associated with the vitamin K, like 2, 7, 9 and 10, 2, 7, 9, 10. These factors are vitamin K dependent clotting factor. So any deficiency of vitamin K may lead to the deficient synthesis of these factor and may lead to the coagulation disorder. Second, all of you know that maximum clotting factors, coagulation factor are synthesized in the liver. So if there is a disease in the liver, like cirrhosis of disease or any hepatic injury, hepatitis, or any disorder that damage the liver parenchymal cell, may lead to the deficient synthesis of coagulation factor, especially 5, 7, 9, 10, fibrinogen, antithrombin 3, protein C, S. These are the factors, the coagulation factor, anticoagulant factor also. They are synthesized in the liver. Certainly, the liver disorder may lead to the coagulation defect or increased bleeding tendency. So, second cause is first cause is vitamin K deficiency. Second is liver disease. Another secondary disease that may lead to the coagulation disorder, and that is if there is a defect in the fibrinolytic system. So overactivation of the fibrinolytic system may lead to the increased bleeding tendency in the coagulation system, and sometimes it is associated with the DIC, where there is an increased consumption of platelet and fibrinogen and other clotting factor that may lead to the coagulation disorder, which ultimately lead to the increased bleeding manifestation. So this is the another secondary cause, that is DIC, which we have already discussed in the previous class in very detailed way. So there are 4 common secondary cause of coagulation disorder. One is क्या हुआ, vitamin K deficiency, liver disease, defect in the fibrinolytic system, or there may be DIC. So these 4 possible cause of secondary cause of coagulation disorder. So let us discuss some of the important coagulation disorder. The first one is known as hemophilia. The hemophilia may be of 2 types. Hemophilia A, which is due to the deficiency of the coagulation factor 8, and another is hemophilia B, that is due to the deficiency of factor 9. Both disorders are X-linked recessive, and this is very common in the childhood, and it is especially hemophilia is a very common congenital coagulation disorder, more commonly seen in the childhood, and due to their inheritance, usually the male is commonly affected, the female is always carrier. So male manifestation is seen in the male, but female are carrier. It is due to the genetic defect. There is a defect in the factor 8 and gene factor 8 and gene factor 9 that are associated with the deficiency of factor 8 and factor 9 and lead to the hemophilia A or B respectively. Hemophilia A is more common. I already know that factor 8 is going to either qualitatively or quantitatively deficient. It has been seen that 90% of hemophilia A is due to the quantitative deficiency of factor 8, and only in the 10% there is a qualitative deficiency of factor 8. Factor 8, all of you know that this is involved in the coagulation system by the helping the activation of factor 10 in the intrinsic pathway of coagulation system. Another important fact regarding the factor 8, that is synthesized in the liver, present in the circulation, and most of the factor 8 are bounded with the von Willebrand factor. So they makes a complex, that complex between what? Factor 8 and von Willebrand factor. Only 25%, it is a very remarkable thing, only 25% of the factor 8 is available for the coagulation system. So manifestation will be occurs when the factor activity is reduced below the 25 or 20%. जब 25 से 25% से नीचे इसकी एक्टिविटी चली जाएगी, इसका लेवल चला जाएगा, तभी मैनिफेस्टेशन दिखाई पड़ेगा, क्योंकि मैक्सिमम factor 8 is bounded with the von Willebrand factor, and in this bounding, von Willebrand factor increases the half life of factor 8 because it bonds with this and make a complex in the circulation. So clinical manifestation will be graded on the basis of percentage of activity of factor 8. Usually it has been seen that whole bleeding manifestation due to the deficiency of factor 8 will be seen when their activity is reduced below the 20-25%. If it is less than 1%, there will be severe bleeding. If it is their activity is 1 to 5%, then there will be a mild moderate type of clinical manifestation, and if the activity is up to 5%, there will be mild type of clinical manifestation. So clinical manifestation depends upon the activity, availability, the level of factor 8. So if it is less than 1%, then severe bleeding will be seen in the patient in the form of hemoarthrosis or hematoma or bleeding from the different site. Usually there is most commonly the large joint is going to affected, and the blood are accumulated in the large joint and lead to the hemarthrosis. Even after the minor injury, there is a leakage of the blood from the different site. It may manifest in the form of epistaxis or in the form of hematoma or in the form of hemoarthrosis. That is very important clinical manifestation that is seen in the early childhood or in the male early childhood. So this is the usual clinical presentation and some important fact about the hemophilia A. Laboratory diagnosis is made by again noting the coagulation test. It has been seen that the whole coagulation time is very much increased in the severe case. Prothrombic time is usually normal. APTT typically increase in the severe bleeding condition manifestation. A specific coagulation assay shows that there is a deficiency of factor 8 level in the blood, and this type of laboratory finding usually confirm the diagnosis, and it also help in the differentiating the hemophilia B. All things are theoretical aspect of hemophilia B same as hemophilia, the clinical manifestation. The only difference is that the hemophilia B or Christmas disease is due to the deficiency of what? Factor 9. So coagulation assay will be done to differentiate hemophilia A and B by assaying the coagulation factor in the blood. That in hemophilia A, what will be finding? The factor 8 will be deficient. In hemophilia B, that it will be associated with deficiency of factor 9. So in this way, the diagnosis is made, and it is both hemophilia and hemophilia A and B are differentiated also. So these are the some important fact about the hemophilia A. So far the treatment is concerned, treatment is only the replacement therapy, that is the either plasma derived or recombinant factor 8 is given to the patient in the form of concentrate or in the form of plasma cryoprecipitate. This is the only tool of treatment. Replacement therapy in the Christmas disease again by the introducing factor 9, and sometime in this condition it is associated with the activation of the coagulation system, and that may lead to the thrombosis and embolism, especially in the hemophilia B. This is going to happen. And other complication, if you go for the replacement therapy, there is more chance of transmission of the disease, blood-borne transmission, blood ट्रांसफ्यूजन से जो डिजीज होता है, जैसे हेपेटाइटिस बी और HIV या सम टाइम क्रोनिक लिवर डिजीज कैन बी seen as a complication due to the repeated blood transfusion. Another coagulation disorder that is known as von Willebrand disease, as is clear from the name that in this disease what is happen, there is a deficiency of either qualitative or quantitative deficiency of von Willebrand factor. So let us see some of the important fact about the von Willebrand factor. Actually, the von Willebrand factor is synthesized in the it is a glycoprotein multimer. VWF is a glycoprotein multimer, and it is synthesized in the platelet, endothelium, and in megakaryocyte. So these are the sites where it is synthesized. This factor play very important role. The main function of the VWF is that it binds with the specific site in the platelet. The site is glycoprotein 1b receptor in the platelet. What is the specific site? Glycoprotein 1b, where it binds, and binding with platelet another site through to the endothelium, it make a bridge between platelet and endothelium. So this is a very important phenomena, especially in case of when there is a hemostasis or there is a hemostatic plug is going to form. The von Willebrand factor is playing very important role regarding the platelet adhesion and platelet aggregation to the endothelium, injured endothelium, by making a bridge between platelet and endothelium with binding a specific site in the platelet. So in this way, it make a very important role in the formation of hemostatic plug and leading to stoppage of bleeding. Another important fact about function of the von Willebrand factor, that it binds with factor 8 and make a complex. VWF and factor 8 का एक complex बन जाता है. As you know that 90% of the maximum of the factor 8 is bounded with the VWF. So in this way it enhances the plasma half-life of factor 8. So this is the another function. So these are the very typical function of mediated through the von Willebrand factor, and they are very much important component in the hemostasis in the coagulation system. So naturally, if there is a deficiency of the von Willebrand factor, may lead to the defect in the coagulation system and also may lead to the bleeding manifestation. Unlike the hemophilia A, it is inherited as autosomal dominant way, because the gene responsible for the synthesis and regulating the VWF, it is found on chromosome number 12. So the inheritance is of this disease is autosomal dominant way. So in this way, it can manifest in the both sex as a same frequency. But in hemophilia A, you are noting that it is more commonly manifest in the male, and female are generally carrier. So in this way, the von Willebrand factor disease is going to develop. Clinically, it manifests as a spontaneous bleeding, especially from the mucous membrane, and clinically it is graded into 3 grade. 3 ग्रेड का von Willebrand डिजीज होता है. पहला ग्रेड जो होता है, जो मोस्ट कॉमन है, 80% है. इसमें क्या होता है कि देयर इज ए मॉडरेट डिक्रीज इन द लेवल ऑफ von Willebrand factor up to the 50% their activity is going to decrease. Synthesis is normal but release is impaired. तो टाइप 1 में क्या है कि सिंथेसिस नॉर्मल है लेकिन उसका रिलीज सही ढंग से नहीं होगा. सो इन दिस वे देयर इज ए डेवलपमेंट ऑफ डिजीज. सो no identifiable gene or mutation of von Willebrand factor is seen in this condition. So 80% of the von Willebrand disease is type 1 and that may lead to the deficiency of von Willebrand factor and may lead to the development of disease. The second type is up to 10 to 15%. Here there is a normal level of von Willebrand factor, but the function of the factor is defective. मतलब there is a qualitative defect. तो ये कंडीशन को हम लोग टाइप 2 में रखते हैं. टाइप 2 ए और बी भी होता है, तो दैट इज द अनदर टाइप. ये अनदर टाइप इज नोन एज टाइप 3, where binding of von Willebrand factor to the platelet is defective. Binding of the von Willebrand factor to the platelet and endothelium is defective. So this type of von Willebrand disease is categorized under third. Clinically type 2, इसमें भी टाइप 3 में भी दो तरह का टाइप 2 में ही दो तरह का एक सब क्लासिफिकेशन दिया गया है, टाइप 2N एंड टाइप 2M. क्या है टाइप 2N में क्या होगा कि देयर इज ए डिफेक्ट बाइंडिंग विथ ए प्लेटलेट. टाइप 2N में देयर इज ए डिफेक्ट बाइंडिंग विथ टाइप 2N में देयर इज ए डिफेक्ट बाइंडिंग विथ von फैक्टर 8 2N में. तो इसीलिए कभी कभी टाइप 2N is clinically resemble with hemophilia A because it is associated with the defect in the binding with von Willebrand factor with factor 8. फैक्टर 8 और von Willebrand फैक्टर का जो बाइंडिंग है वो डिफेक्टिव होता है टाइप 2N में. तो इसके लिए इसका मैनिफेस्टेशन भी हीमोफीलिया ए के जैसा होता है. और दूसरा है टाइप 2M. टाइप 2M इसमें क्या है कि von Willebrand फैक्टर डिफेक्टिवली बाउंड होता है प्लेटलेट से. सो देयर इज सीवियर ब्लीडिंग इज गोइंग टू सीन इन दिस कंडीशन. एंड टाइप 3 इज अनदर clinical type which is very rare, but it is associated with the severe deficiency of von Willebrand factor. There is a severe deficiency, so there is a severe bleeding tendency is going to seen in type 3. सो टाइप 3 का प्रोग्नोसिस सबसे ख़राब होगा क्योंकि इसमें ज़्यादा ही प्लेटलेट von Willebrand फैक्टर की डिफिशियंसी होती है, लेकिन ये रेयर है. मोस्ट कॉमन क्या है टाइप 1 है, जिसमें ओनली देयर इज ए मॉडरेट डिक्रीज ओनली अप टू द 50% ऑफ द von Willebrand factor activity is going to decrease. So this is the clinical type. Laboratory diagnosis is made by increased bleeding tendency, increased bleeding time, platelet count will be normal, von Willebrand फैक्टर का लेवल जो होगा वो घटा रहेगा, एक्टिविटी ऑफ फैक्टर 8 भी घटा रहेगा, von Willebrand फैक्टर एंटीजन का लेवल घटा रहेगा. There is another important finding that is seen in the von Willebrand disease that is known as ristocetin induced platelet aggregation. क्या है एक एंटीबायोटिक है जिसका नाम है रेस्टोसेटिन इंड्यूस्ड प्लेटलेट एग्रीगेशन. इसकी एक्टिविटी घटी रहेगी. तो ये निर्भर करेगा, ये जो घटना और बढ़ना ये निर्भर करेगा कि किस कैटेगरी का von Willebrand डिजीज है. टाइप 1 में होगा तो कम घटेगा, टाइप 2 में थोड़ा ज़्यादा घटेगा, और टाइप 3 में बहुत ज़्यादा ये सब चीज़ घटा हुआ रहेगा या बढ़ा हुआ रहेगा. तो प्लेटलेट काउंट will be decrease only in type 2B. टाइप 2B में प्लेटलेट काउंट घटा रहेगा, ऐसे प्लेटलेट काउंट नॉर्मल रहता है. तो मोस्ट कॉमन BT इंक्रीज, प्लेटलेट काउंट नॉर्मल स्पेशली ओनली इट इज डिक्रीज इन द टाइप 2B. von Willebrand फैक्टर का लेवल घटा रहेगा, रिड्यूस फैक्टर 8 की एक्टिविटी भी घटी रहेगी. बॉन्ड बिल्डिंग फैक्टर एंटीजन की एक्टिविटी घटी रहेगी, रिसिस्टीन इंड्यूस्ड प्लेटलेट एग्रीगेशन भी घटा रहेगा, और एपीटीटी और पीटी दे आर नॉर्मल ओनली इन द सीवियर डिजीज इट मे बी डिक्रीज व्हेन द फैक्टर 8 इज it is increased when it is associated with the deficient activity of factor 8। तो ऐसे एपीटीटी और पीटी का लेवल नॉर्मल रहता है, लेकिन सीवियर कंडीशन में जहाँ फैक्टर 8 भी इन्वॉल्व हो जाता है तो अब इसकी एक्टिविटी लेवल जो होगा वो बढ़ा रहेगा। ट्रीटमेंट तो वही है बाय द रिप्लेसमेंट थेरापी विथ द क्रायोप्रेसिपिटेट और प्लाज्मा विथ इनरिच्ड फैक्टर 8 and bond Willebrand factor. So this is the something about the von Willebrand disorder. So these are the congenital disease. Another disease that is secondary of coagulation defect, I have already told you that one cause is known as vitamin K deficiency। इसके चलते क्या क्या कौन सा सिंथेसिस हैम्पर होगा? Synthesis of factor 2, 7, 9 and 10 will be decreased। Protein C and S level is also going to decrease because they are vitamin K dependent clotting factor। More commonly it is seen in the neonate because at this stage the liver is immature because the site of the synthesis of this factor is in the liver। So in the infant it is immature, there is a lack of bacterial synthesis because you already know this fact that vitamin K are sometimes synthesized in GIT bacteria। So in the infant it is lacking, and the milk, breast milk is also deficient of vitamin K। So infant are very commonly associated with the vitamin K dependent deficiency of coagulation factor, and there may be chance of bleeding tendency in neonate। So that is why in infant and neonate following after delivery we give a supplement dose of vitamin K to prevent coagulation defect in the infant। In the childhood it is maybe happen because of some of the GIT problem like in the malabsorption or dietary intake, diet which are taking which is lacking of vitamin K, because vitamin K is mostly present in the leaf greeny vegetable। So if it is going to happen dietary intake is deficient, or there is malabsorption, or there is some bacterial gut bacterial is deficient, so that may lead to the deficiency of vitamin K, and when it is deficient the synthesis of factor 2, 7, 9 and 10 along with protein C and S synthesis in the liver will be hampered, it will be decreased, and that may lead to the coagulation disorder which ultimately manifests as a bleeding tendency। Another cause I have already told you in this in the vitamin K deficient disorder, the PT and APTT will be increased, that is the laboratory finding। In the liver disease, as you know that liver is the factory, it is the site where the most of the coagulation factor, especially factor 2, 5, 7, 9, fibrinogen and anticoagulant like antithrombin 3, protein C, protein S, all these are going to synthesize in the liver। क्या क्या सिंथेसिस होता है? अगेन आई टोल्ड यू द कोगुलेशन फैक्टर कौन कौन? 2, 5, 7, 9, fibrinogen and anticoagulant factor like antithrombin 3 and protein C and S। So these are synthesized in the liver। So if the liver is going to disease, there is cirrhosis of liver, or in case of severe hepatitis or in the hepatocellular carcinoma, when the parenchyma of the liver is damaged, the synthesis of this factor will be going to decrease, and certainly your patient may suffer with the coagulation disorder which may manifest as a bleeding disorder। So in the liver disease there may be chance of this happen। So in the liver disease what will be possibility? There will be hypercoagulability। hypercoagulability क्यों होगा? Because of the deficient synthesis of antithrombin 3 and protein C and S। तो लीवर डिजीज में कौन कौन कोगुलेशन डिजॉर्डर होगा? पहला होगा हाइपरकोगुलेबिलिटी, दूसरा क्या होगा? ब्लीडिंग डिजॉर्डर होगा बिकॉज द क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर्स आर गोइंग टू डिफिशियंट इन सिंथेसिस। देयर मे बी चांस ऑफ DIC। DIC क्यों होगा? क्योंकि फाइब्रिनोजन का सिंथेसिस नहीं होगा तो DIC होगा, फाइब्रिनोजन कम हो जाएगा। और देयर मे बी सिस्टमिक फाइब्रिनोलाइसिस। तो फाइब्रिनोलाइसिस इसलिए होगा कि देयर इज इम्पेयर्ड क्लियरेंस ऑफ एक्टिवेटेड फैक्टर and fibrinolytic enzyme, impaired clearance of activated factors and fibrinolytic enzyme। तो इसके चलते सिस्टेमिक फाइब्रिनोलाइसिस होगा, और ज़्यादा फाइब्रिनोलाइसिस होगा तो देयर विल बी मोर चांस ऑफ ब्लीडिंग। सो दीज आर द 4-5 coagulation disorder can occurs in the liver disease. Again I told you, the first there will be hypercoagulability, the second will be bleeding disorder or coagulation disorder, third there will be DIC, and fourth there will be systemic fibrinolysis, because there is an impairment of the clearance of activated factors and fibrinolytic enzyme. So that may ultimately lead to the coagulation disorder, and it may lead to the increased bleeding tendency in the form of epistaxis or in the form of hematemesis. There it may be seen in case of cirrhosis of liver. We just note that is the indicate the bad prognosis of liver disease if it is coagulation system is going to involve. तो ये लिवर डिजीज में मैनिफेस्टेशन होता है क्या क्या, ये सब हम लोग जान गए। और पांचवा पॉसिबल कॉज है सेकेंडरी कॉज ऑफ कोगुलेशन डिजॉर्डर, दैट इफ देयर इज अ डिफेक्ट इन द फाइब्रिनोलाइटिक सिस्टम। ऑल ऑफ यू नो दैट द फाइब्रिनोलाइटिक सिस्टम इज प्रेजेंट इन आवर बॉडी टू कंट्रोल एंड रेगुलेट द कोगुलेशन। सो अगर फाइब्रिनोलाइटिक सिस्टम में ही डिफेक्ट हो जाएगा, अगर ज़्यादा फाइब्रिनोलिसिस अगर होने लगे, अगर उसमें जो प्रोटीलाइटिक एंजाइम है वो ज़्यादा ओवर एक्टिव हो जाए, प्लास्मिन जो है वो अगर ज़्यादा एक्टिव होगा तो ज़्यादा फाइब्रिनोलाइसिस होगा, और ज़्यादा फाइब्रिनोलाइसिस होने का मतलब है कि फाइब्रिन का डिग्रेडेशन होगा, और फाइब्रिन का डिग्रेडेशन होगा तो क्लॉट नहीं बनेगा, क्लॉट नहीं बनेगा तो देयर विल बी ब्लीडिंग टेंडेंसी। सो दिस इफ इट इज़ गोइंग टू हैपन दैट देयर इज अ डिफेक्ट इन द फाइब्रिनोलाइटिक सिस्टम, it is due to the overactivation of enzymes that are involved in the fibrinolytic system that may be associated with the bleeding disorder or coagulation disorder. So in this condition the PT and APTT both are going to increase. So these are the things, these are the important fact about the coagulation disorder. I think the concept is clear for all of you, and this is whole about the bleeding disorders. We have completed these things. In the next class we shall start another topic or another system from the next class. Till thank you most.